I type 19, which is the number of lines I want to add, and then just the P command. And suddenly I just hit 3 buttons instead of hitting P button 19 times to achieve exactly the same result. I can use the Control V to go to the visual block mode. And if I now say 19 times and J is for HJKL for moving the cursor. So going down, J going down 19 times, I select this quote and I say C to change. And I would say comma and world and quote, double quote again, and I press escape. And suddenly it has been changed. I say S for substitute. And I want to change, let's say world. I can just say LD, that's fairly enough. So matching the LD. And what I want to substitute with, so if I want to substitute with some text, I can just enter text. But if I want to use the output of the command, I can say backslash and equals sign. And then, well, first, I don't really want to replace the word, the LD from the world with the number. So I actually want to restore it. So I can just keep it like this. And then a period to add more arguments. So I can also do my line now. And I want to specify the particular line number. And I'm going to play Tetris now. Okay, so username or traditional. Yeah, doesn't ask me to specify the username because I've already done that earlier. So HJKL keys practicing is one of the claims in the description of the game of Tetris. So like just if you feel that HJKL keys are uncomfortable to manipulate to move the cursor around the screen, in this case you can play Tetris to, and then here you just say matrix because a new command can be defined for Vim, and matrix plugin does make use of it, so it just defines the new command. I didn't show you the source code, but anyway, so here now you can achieve this matrix code-rain. Hello everyone, please excuse the clickbaity title, but whether you should actually learn Vim or not is the exact question I would like you guys to ask your very own selves by the end of this video. I'm planning a big series on mastering Vim from scratch, and you might be wondering why to make another tutorial when there are so many out there, including not just YouTube videos but also books. Well, I can see an issue with those existing materials being biased, like one man's life experience may be biased towards the other. And what can be applicable for one may become totally useless for another. So eventually, the biggest problem you're encountering, no matter how much you've learned so far, is finding yourself in a position when you have absolutely no clue of how to improve further on your very own. And those fancy claims from Vim talks like you should improve your Vim skills all the time remain mysterious in terms of how to actually achieve it. So what I want to do is to provide the from bottom to top guide explaining internal workings of Vim in an extremely didactic way, so that instead of just memorizing countless number of commands and growing a couple more fingers on your hands, you could build your very own solid foundation of how Vim approaches text editing, so that mastering of commands would occur effortlessly, demystifying the long learning curve you need to walk through in order to master Vim. With this in mind, I would now like to ask you a question: what is Vim? Some of you would answer it's a text editor, others would say a programming language, someone may even mention the runtime environment, and there is nothing wrong with these definitions, because they all are correct. Now, if I get asked what is Vim, I will answer Vim is a path, Vim is a lifestyle, Vim is an approach to text editing problem solving. Now, the reasonable question to ask is why Vim is better than other editors. And if we'll leave the biased opinions claiming Vim is simply the best and focus on the very of its benefits, essentially they can be described within a single word: efficiency. So what makes Vim so efficient? Let's have a look at some examples. I'm now opening the intro.txt file which I've prepared. So one of the simplest examples possible here, if we want to print the hello string 20 times, then we can say print hello 20 times, or we can replace it with a single line. In this case, this is the Python programming language, so we can say for I in range 20, and then the instruction to print hello. So print hello would be printed within the loop 20 times. Simple as that. But this description of efficiency in terms of programming language, like how can we achieve the efficiency within the programming languages, it's crystal clear. But you might be wondering how this can actually be applied to text editing in Vim. So I'll now start a new file, and well, not really start a new file, I just want to delete everything in the buffer. So let's say you need exactly 20 lines of print hello being added to your text file. Well, obviously you can write a script that would just print this 20 times, and then you can copy paste the output of that script to the file. That's one of the sane approaches. But the most dumb way to do, what is that going to be? So we can go into the insert mode, and I can say just print and hello. And if this is not Vim, if this is just a regular text editor, what would you do? You would just try to insert the text, right? So in Vim, we can do V for visual mode, and we just can select everything, and then again in Vim you just do yank, which is copy, and then you can just do P to put. But yeah, it just puts to the same line. It's not really that convenient to do, but that's because the direct like process of mimicking of what you're trying to do in Vim, like as opposed to the GUI text editor, like whatever you've used to, this usually results in a disaster. And like the biggest thing that turns you away from Vim is that what you used to do on your text editor, you can't do this the same way in Vim. So in Vim, things are getting done different, and there is a big reason for that. But anyway, so the Vim way to do things, the dumb Vim way to do things, if I just say yank and then press Y one more time to yank the entire line. And now if I press P, put, I can paste, and I can do this like 20 times, but hitting P button 20 times, yeah, it's not really that efficient way of doing things. So we can now think of making this a little bit more efficient, as well as deleting lines as well. I'm just showing you the inefficient mode. But let's say, for instance, I type 19, which is the number of lines I want to add, and then just the P command. And suddenly, I just hit 3 buttons instead of hitting P button 19 times to achieve exactly the same result. But this might not be that impressive, and the true Vim magic, even at the very dumb level, which I'm now about to be showing, actually arrives when it comes to editing text. So for instance, if you want to change the hello to hello world, well, you can do your favorite GUI substitute command to add, like, just to replace the hello with hello world, and you can do the same in Vim. But let's just assume that we are having the dumbest way possible of achieving this task. So I'm again going to the insert mode, and I just do world, and then I'm going to normal mode, and then again I'm going to insert mode. Now I'm doing world, and this is how, because too long, too boring, doesn't work, etc. So how to optimize this one? Well, here obviously I can use the substitute command, which I would be showing within this video, but there is I believe a shorter and a simpler way to achieve things. So if I say, let's just drop back to the initial state. So just want to have this like so, and now I can use the Control V to go to the visual block mode. And if I now say 19 times, and J is for HJKL for moving the cursor, so going down 19 times, I select this quote, and I say C to change, and now I say comma and world, and quote, double quote again, and I press escape, and suddenly it has been changed within the entire range that I've selected. So far, so good, but this doesn't really go beyond the options and capabilities of those text editors you used to. So nothing special so far. Maybe just a weird way to do things you used to do, what you consider to be the normal way. But now I will show you the sort of a next step to these. And let's say we want to say print hello world 1, hello world 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So if this is programming, you can just say for I in range like 10 or 20, then print hello, then comma, and then the I itself, and that will give you an output with print hello world 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. But there is a way to achieve this exact behavior just in Vim. So if I go from normal mode to command mode by pressing colon, there is, I can use the echo command to show you the output of the Vim specific command called line. So, and the command itself is just the dot. So even before this probably, so if I just press dot and hit enter, this brings me to the current line I have. So if I go somewhere here, again, go into command mode. So I figure out what line I'm currently at. So I just hit dot and I just go into the line 8. But if I want to see what is the number of that line, for instance, how can I achieve that? I can say this Vim specific command line, and then to specify the sub command for Vim. And this would give me an error because line cannot be used directly. So I need to say echo, and it gives me 8 as the output within the command line. But that's not exactly what I want. I would actually to add the output of the Vim specific command to my buffer. So how can I achieve that? So let's go from scratch again. I say GG to go to the very first line. I say $sign to get to the end of the line, H to go 1 character back, and now again Control V, and now 19 times G. So to insert, to select all the range of lines. And this is not essential to do this using the visual block mode. So you can also just type the specific command to specifying the range for the substitute command to work on, or if you want to do this for all the lines, you can just use the global substitute command, which is also an option, but that's not the case really. So I'm going to substitute command to be entered now. So when I just press colon now, see this weird characters. So essentially they do represent the range of lines I'm supposed to be applying the following command on top of. So I say S for substitute, and I want to change, let's say world. I can just say LD, that's fairly enough. So matching the LD. And what I want to substitute with, so if I want to substitute with some text, I can just enter text. But if I want to use the output of the command, I can say backslash and equals sign. And then, well, first, I don't really want to replace the word, the LD from the world with the number. So I actually want to restore it. So I can just keep it like this. And then a period to add more arguments. So I can also do my line now. And I want to specify the particular line number. And also I will probably, okay, I just hit end, I'm sorry. So that's undo things. Also I want to add the space here, right? And this is the way to go. So this is already like much faster as opposed to manually type in 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many times you need to stroke the keyboard? Yeah, you just break it one day if you do that way. So it's not really an option to go for. So yeah, this is how the command can be used. But again, this is not just that simple. This is not it. I just wanted to show you that combining the commands all together may lead to a more efficient way of how one can edit text. And if we push this even further, then there is another interesting thing to have in mind. So I just want to just quit from Vim, and yes, just quit. And I just want to show you another thing. So if I say edit and I want the Vim runtime and then the file called defaults Vim, so it changes the environmental variable Vim runtime with the actual Vim runtime folder I'm having on my system. And if I hit enter, I'm entering the vimrc, which is the default Vim configuration file. And again, so this is loaded if vimrc file was not found. So usually it's under the home directory, the user home directory. So you just create a file .vimrc and specify your settings there. If you don't have that file being specified, then this default file is used to bring Vim to behave sanely, so that you can do most of things you're supposed to do without being confused by some weird behavior that is about to occur if you don't have these defaults, vimrc defaults being enabled on start of your Vim. So as you can see here, Vim also provides its very own runtime and the programming language. So we have the conditionals. We can just do some sets, which are all this history ruler, all this are the Vim specific commands that you can work with. You can also create variables. You can do loops. You can call functions. So well, essentially, what is known as a vimscript is the programming language that runs entirely under Vim, and it makes it absolutely amazing. So, well, these are just the settings, and using vimscript as the weapon of choice programming language for the vimrc, the only, actually, the only programming language, weapon of choice programming language to create the vimrc. But that's not the only use case for the Vim scripting language. So you can also write plugins with it and even games, believe it or not. So I just want to show you another example. So if I do edit and this goes like home, my username, downloads, and it's called Tetris Vim. So this is the game of Tetris that is running entirely in Vim. I just want to give you an idea of how the source code actually looks like. So that allows you to set up some variables. This as means that the variables are specific to the scope of this particular script, so which also might come really useful when you have many plugins running under the single Vim session at the same time. So it's really cool to have like those variables being specific to the certain script, so that there won't be any conflicts between the variable names, potentially resulting in messing up, potentially resulting in a mess between different plugins. Okay, so see, like it's code. It's a programming language. We have functions here. We have loops like while loop. Yeah, we have a whole lot of things. And we do render the output to the buffer of the Vim editor itself. So these are the functions specific to the game of Tetris. And if you want to run this, what you can do is the following. So I've slightly changed the source code because just to make it easier to run. So if we go to match the main function, so here, okay, one more time. Main. Next. Oh, no, next. Yeah, here. So here, for instance, was like as colon main, because this was like specific script ID was specific to this Tetris plugin, but I just removed this so that I could just say call main from the command mode to run Tetris. So first thing to do in order to make script actually working under the currently ongoing Vim runtime, I need to use the source command. So I can say source, and then I do home, then my username, then the downloads, and then the tetris. So now it has been loaded, okay? And now if I say call and main, it already tells me that the main function is available under the autocomplete, so I can just run. And I'm going to play Tetris now. Okay, so username or traditional. Yeah, doesn't ask me to specify the username because I've already done that earlier. So HJKL keys practicing is one of the claims in the description of the game of Tetris. So, like, just if you feel that HJKL keys are uncomfortable to manipulate, to move the cursor around the screen, in this case you can play Tetris to get yourself to familiarize yourself with the HJKL keys to make it to make yourself being used to these keys. And yeah, I'm playing using the HJKL keys now. And I guess when I see a game of Tetris running under the text editor, like it has blown my mind when I saw this for the very first time, because like it's so powerful that like there is no limit of how you can manipulate the buffer, because essentially what's happening now is, like, instead of having some text in a text buffer, you're just having some characters represented tetrominos, and it's also interactive, so it has its own runtime. I don't know if it's possible to write Vim under Vim. Probably. Like, is Vim Turing complete? I think it should be. I think ultimately it should be Turing complete. Yeah, probably no one did it ever before, but anyway. So yeah, I'm really so excited to have this experience. So not just games, but obviously you can write useful plugins that, if you have a specific task to resolve, and this task is very specific to your particular type of work you need to get done with. In this case, you can write very own Vim plugin to resolve the particular issue. And during the tutorial series, we would be covering such examples, like when it might be really useful to create somewhat your very own Vim plugin using the vimscript to get the job done properly for your particular task, and much more. Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. When I start playing Tetris, I'm getting very excited. Yeah, but okay. So it ends. It just clears the screen automatically for you, and you are done. And have a look. Please notice that the buffer has been restored after I stop playing Tetris, which is also a really cool feature. Also, there is a thing called the matrix screensaver. It's not as epic as the Tetris, but anyway, so if I just do source and then again home CMK and downloads and matrix, okay, and then here you just say matrix, because a new command can be defined for Vim, and matrix plugin does make use of it, so it just defines the new command. I didn't show you the source code, but anyway, so here now you can achieve this matrix co-reign. Okay, guys, so I think that's it from my side. So I really tried to bring you into the spirit of Vim, and just give you an idea that Vim is the path, it's the way of thinking, and like not just memorizing the static forms of commands to resolve something, but to become an architect, like a programmer. It's really similar. Like if you're a user, you can only use those programs that has been written by someone else. But if you're a programmer, you can create your very own programs. And using Vim is the same principle being applied to text editing. So you may just be the user, like the user whatever text editor, but you may become like an architect of your text editing, and that's where the Vim is the best weapon of choice text editor. So ask yourself if you're interested in learning Vim and let me know in the commentaries. That's it from my side. Thanks for watching and see you in the next tutorial.